This man is the mastermind who cracked the casino code like no one else. Imagine a guy who outsmarted slot machines for nearly 20 years, orchestrating daring heists in casinos around the world. On his first hit in Las Vegas, he astonishingly won $35,000. His arsenal included clever devices like the monkey's paw, the light wand, and the tongue. As technology advanced, so did his craft. By teaming up with con artist Balsamo, they managed to defraud Las Vegas out of millions of dollars. Despite being caught twice in Las Vegas and once in Atlantic City, his notoriety only grew, earning him the title of the most wanted casino con artist in the United States and a lifetime ban from the casino realm. So, who is this man and how did he orchestrate his plans? What cunning tactics did he employ, and what is the amazing journey that led him to beat the system? Join us as we uncover the fascinating story of the greatest casino con artist in American history. Tommy Glenn Carmichael was born on July 5, 1950, and grew up in Oklahoma during an era of rapid technological advancement. He always had a great interest in understanding the inner workings of technology. This curiosity led him to establish a TV repair and sales shop in the 1980s. As an adult in the 80s, Carmichael opened a TV repair shop in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the business thrived, operating under the name Ace TV Sales and Service. It became an immediate success, being the first of its kind in the area. However, as more tech-focused stores opened, his business fell behind, resulting in decreased revenue. At the same time, he was going through his third divorce and still fulfilling community service obligations from previous convictions, finding his business on the brink of closure. Despite the challenges, he remained determined to turn his fortune around. His story is not just about pressing buttons on a machine but about a man who found a way to beat the odds. In an unexpected twist, a high school friend of Carl Reiming came into the scene to offer a helping hand. When Reiming arrived, he told Carmichael to open the trunk of his car, saying that something inside could change his life, and he was right. Inside was a small slot machine and a tool that con artists use called the upper-lower union. Carmichael disassembled the machine and learned how slot machines worked. He wanted to use this tool to win. After practicing a lot, he felt ready to test it in a Las Vegas casino. But how did this cheating tool work? Old slot machines were basic. They had discs with slots arranged on a spinning wheel. To win the tempting jackpot, the slots needed to line up and make the machine pay. But when Carmichael started going to Las Vegas, things had changed, and everything was now electronic. These new slot machines worked with circuit boards. To win the jackpot, you had to complete a circuit that activated the coin dispenser. Most people rely on luck to win the jackpot, but con artists like Carmichael had a different idea. Since all that was needed was to complete a circuit, they only needed a wire and some metal to make it work. This is where the upper-lower union tool comes into play. The lower part is a bent guitar string that is inserted into the bottom of the slot machine where the coins come out. The con artist positions it against the circuit board to complete half of the circuit. Then, the upper metal piece, shaped like a number 9, is inserted into the coin slot to complete the circuit. Once this happens, the jackpot flows, making the con artists much richer than before. Carmichael went back and forth from Tulsa to Las Vegas every few months, spending months operating in Las Vegas casinos and stealing their machines before returning to check on his store. Unfortunately for him, every time he returned, the store generated less and less money. He eventually closed everything to become a full-time con artist. The last part of the innocent, electronics-loving man died in the TV repair shop. After that, a much darker version of Carl was born. Now that cheating was his only source of income, he had to make sure he wasn't caught. You might think that casinos would notice if someone was inserting a wire into a machine to get money, but Carmichael became very good at it. Without being caught on his first attempt, he used the trick on a nickel machine and won $35 in just a few minutes. He started with smaller machines and then moved on to the larger ones in Las Vegas. Later, he said that in his first week of tricks in Las Vegas, he took home over $1,000. Amazingly, Carmichael made a lot of money from Las Vegas casinos for about 20 years without being caught. But unfortunately for him, his easy source of income was ending. Las Vegas was getting rid of its old slot machines and replacing them with ones that used computer screens. Today, even computer chips that were smarter control older machines. Tricks like using a guitar string were no longer enough to deceive computer chips. But Carmichael didn't give up. He knew he had to find a new way. So he devoted himself to thinking and testing new ideas. It was no longer just about beating the casinos but keeping up with the constantly changing technology. The thrill of not knowing what would work next kept him going. He was on a mission to discover the secrets that could give him an edge once again. The adventure continued with Carmichael trying to understand the ever-changing world of casinos where being clever and finding new tricks was the way to survive. After making a lot of money from Las Vegas casinos using his ingenious tricks, Carmichael became something of a legend. But the casinos realized what he was doing and improved their systems with something called random number generators, RNGs. These new machines were too smart for Carmichael's tricks. So he decided to try his luck in smaller gambling places that didn't have advanced technology. However, this move made it easier for the police to detect him. They had been watching him for almost a week, knowing he was up to something. The game was changing, and Carmichael was about to face a new kind of challenge, one where the odds were against him. One sunny afternoon, Carmichael decided to take a break in the parking lot of a Denny's, enjoying an afternoon coffee. Unexpectedly, the peaceful atmosphere was interrupted when a group of police officers stormed into the restaurant, actively searching for him. Amidst the chaos, they searched Carmichael's pockets and found the upper-lower union tool. However, Carmichael insisted it was just a tool he used for his car. Unfortunately for Carmichael, his history of involvement with drugs and petty crimes played a role in the legal proceedings. As a consequence of this cheating scandal, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison in 1985. He made so much money that he took a break from Las Vegas but not went on gambling cruises in the Caribbean. He met Michael Balsamo, using his tools, who was there for almost $1,000. They spent time thinking about how they could join forces to beat the casinos. He joined Raymond David Pereira, but when they were freed, partner Michael realized that their old tricks no longer worked. With all this new slot machines, Carmichael and Balsamo were on top, so high that they decided to form a team of scammers from prison. They added more people to their casino world each with experience in deceiving casinos. What the casinos didn't realize was that this duo was spending most of their time either partying or scamming. The team was well organized with some ready tricks for everyone. They were about to embark on a new adventure. As lookouts. The excitement was building as the high-stakes game was about to begin again. Others positioned themselves strategically to block out of prison and prevent being seen while executing their video poker appeared. The group was making around $5 million games every 2 days. It was a nearly visiting every casino on the Las Vegas Strip more advanced technology with random number generators and microprocessors. Carmichael started dating a stripper named Lisa Luxem. Carmichael wanted to figure out how to beat these new machines. In the world of casino scams, there was a problem. Things didn't have enough money. So he did something quite successful schemes. He took several part-time jobs, and the special tool he used was confiscated and handed over to the FBI. Until he saved enough money to buy his own video Balsamo's phone records. After saving Tommy Carl's number from Las Vegas, finally brought the video poker machine home. The Nevada Gaming Control Board joined FBI agents to intercept Carl's phone. He wanted to figure out how to cheat in Las Vegas, and that's exactly what he set out to do. Instead of catching him in different methods, the agent was ready to use his new invention, the monkey's paw. Carmichael had no idea the authorities were after him and flexible steel. While this was happening, when placed at the payout chute, creating a new cheating switch that caused the machine to release manufacturers had surpassed his old tricks. It was like a small victory for Carmichael, they introduced machines called Ticket In, Out Ticket Casino, where you receive a ticket instead of coins became his secret weapon, and then redeem it. And he was about to test it against the very machines designed to beat players. Didn't work on the new machines because they didn't release and he was back in action, so he bought a ticket if his ingenious invention to devise a new way to cheat using a different tool. With the monkey's paw in hand, to find new Carmichael was ready for the next big challenges of the ever-changing gambling world. In a real casino. Carmichael remained strong, chose a location, always prepared to reveal his next move in the complicated world of casinos. He inserted the monkey's paw into the machine, once used to the simplicity of the old slot machines, and the coins began to flow. In the challenges of electronic gambling, the thrill of beating the casino at its own game was like a dance of victory that surprised everyone. But as usual, the casinos had no idea that Carmichael, learned about Carmichael's success, was not only changing his own tricks, but also revolutionizing the entire art of cheating. Casinos were not willing to let Carmichael win so easily. Rendered all of Carmichael's old tools useless. Security didn't fight back. Instead, the monkey's paw had been Carmichael's ticket to success for a while. It was a simple tool that exploited another fatal flaw from casinos. These new machines counted how many coins you inserted. Casinos were constantly improving Carmichael's and monitoring their machines. The tongue, Carmichael strategically in front of these lights to deceive the machine. So he came up with a plan. It was like a clever game for him to find a customer who wanted to buy the new slot machines and spoke with a Carmichael's device, exploiting them to open one of the machines and explain how it worked. In this way, he obtained all the details he needed to create something new, the light wand. Carmichael was ready for the next phase of his game, using his clever tricks to stay ahead of the casinos. As technology improved, slot machines became smarter, but he wasn't worried. He devised a new trick called the light wand that fooled these sophisticated machines. This tool made the machines pay out money even when they shouldn't. Carmichael didn't keep his inventions to himself, he sold them on the black market to anyone willing to pay. He began selling light wands to scammers throughout the Las Vegas Strip. It only cost him $3 to make them, but he sold them for $10,000 each. He was turning his clever ideas into huge sums of money, and the story of the light wand was making waves in the bright lights of Las Vegas. He made so much money that he took a break from Las Vegas but not went on gambling cruises in the Caribbean. He met Michael Balsamo, using his tools, who was there for almost $1,000. They spent time thinking about how they could join forces to beat the casinos. He joined Raymond David Pereira, but when they were freed, they realized that their old tricks no longer worked. With all this new slot machines had even more advanced technology on top, so high that they decided to form a team of scammers. They added more people to their casino world, each with experience in deceiving What the casinos didn't realize was that this duo was spending most of their time either partying or scamming. The team was well organized with some ready tricks for everyone. They were about to embark on a new adventure. As lookouts. The excitement for security as the heist they wouldn't get caught, others positioned themselves not long before Carmichael got out of prison and prevent a new class of slot machines called video poker appeared. The group was making created by international games every 2 days. It was a significant creation. Every casino on the Las Vegas Strip more advanced technology with random number generators and microprocessors. Carmichael started dating a stripper named Lisa Luxem from one of the casinos. He figured out how to beat these new machines. In the world of casino there was a problem. Things took a turn for Balsamo. So he did something quite successful schemes. He took several part-time jobs, and the special tool he used was confiscated and handed over to the until FBI. He saved enough money to buy his own video Balsamo's phone records. After saving Tommy Carl's number from Las Vegas, finally brought the video poker machine. The Nevada Gaming Control Board wasn't just any FBI agent. It was his new project. Carl's phone. He wanted to figure out how to cheat in Las Vegas were about to come to an end. Instead of catching him immediately, different methods, the agent was ready to use his new invention, slot, the monkey's Carmichael had no idea the authorities were string and flexible steel. While this was happening, when placed Carmichael at the payout was busy creating a new cheating switch that caused the machine to release manufacturers had surpassed his old tricks. It was like a small victory for Carmichael, they introduced machines who had worked hard to outwit the casino where you receive a ticket instead of coins became his secret weapon, and then redeem it. And he was about to test it against the very machines designed to beat players. Didn't work on the new machines. The game was on, didn't release and he was back in action. So he bought a ticket if his ingenious invention to devise a new way to cheat using a different tool. With the monkey's determined to find new Carmichael was ready for the next big challenges of the ever-changing gambling world in a real casino. Carmichael remained strong, chose a location, always prepared to reveal his next move the video complicated world of casinos. He inserted the monkey's paw into the machine once used to the simplicity of the old slot switch and the coins found excitement in the challenges of electronic gambling. The thrill of beating the casino at its own game was like a dance of victory that surprised everyone. But as usual, the casinos had no idea that Carmichael, learned about Carmichael Carmichael's success was not only changing his own tricks, but also revolutionizing the entire art of cheating. Casinos were not willing to let Carmichael win so easily. Rendered all of Carmichael's old tools useless. He didn't give up. Instead, the monkey's paw had been Carmichael's ticket to success for a while. It was a simple tool that exploited another fatal money from the casinos. These new machines counted how many coins you inserted. Where casinos were constantly improving and monitoring their machines. The tongue, Carmichael strategically needed to stay one step to deceive the machine. So he came up with a plan. It was like a clever game for him to find ways to outsmart the casinos' advanced technology, and spoke with a Carmichael's device, exploiting them to open one of the machines and explain how it worked. In this way, he obtained all the details he needed to create something new, the light wand. Carmichael was ready for the next phase of his game, using his clever tricks to stay ahead of the casinos. As technology improved, slot machines became smarter, but he wasn't worried. He devised a new trick called the light wand that fooled these sophisticated machines. This tool made the machines pay out money even when they shouldn't. Carmichael didn't keep his inventions to himself, he sold them on the black market to anyone willing to pay. He began selling light wands to scammers throughout the Las Vegas Strip. It only cost him $3 to make them, but he sold them for $10,000 each. He was turning his clever ideas into huge sums of money, and the story of the light wand was making waves in the bright lights of Las Vegas. When a coin was inserted, it passed through 3 lights. Carmichael discovered that he could fool the counter by moving his tongue tool back and forth in front of the middle light. He found a clever move with his tongue tool. If he made the middle light flash, the casino machine would be deceived. It didn't matter if the other 2 lights were off, the machine would wrongly think that a bunch of coins had passed quickly, everything in less than a second. With this clever trick, Carmichael's tongue tool became something of a magic key. It made the machine think it deserved hundreds of dollars in gaming credits. It was like finding a secret code to unlock the casino's money, and each time he made that middle light flash, he kept winning more. But in casinos, scammers don't have luck forever. Sooner or later, they get caught. Carmichael might have enjoyed his victories, but the casinos, with their careful surveillance and improved security, were getting closer to catching the cheater. It was like a game of hide and seek where Carmichael kept dodging the casinos, but they were getting better at finding him. Carmichael's good luck didn't last forever. The police eventually caught him. It was a tough situation, and he had to face the consequences, dealing with legal troubles for almost 4 years. Carmichael and his team had been successful at deceiving casinos and enjoying the rewards of their clever tricks, but in 1996, things took a turn. Carmichael and his team decided to try their luck at the Circus Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. They didn't know that their good times were about to end. The casino was after them, and their streak of luck was about to come to an end. Unaware of the danger, he continued with his plan. In 1996, while they were busy cheating a machine, security guards quickly entered and arrested him. New cameras that Carmichael didn't know about could see beyond the blockers, which led to his capture. He was unaware of these enhanced cameras, and they played a significant role in his capture. The days of evading casino security were over. Carmichael, who used to outsmart them, found himself facing the consequences of his actions. It was a time when technology and the law changed the course of Carmichael's casino adventures. This time, he faced charges of cheating for possessing and manufacturing a cheating device. Surprisingly, he didn't stay in trouble for long. The evidence against him wasn't strong enough, so he was out of custody in less than 24 hours. It was like a brief respite from all the legal issues, but problems had a way of following Carmichael. He was arrested again in 1998 and then once more in 1999. The law was determined to hold him accountable for what he had done. These years were tough for Tommy Carmichael, with legal battles and brief moments of freedom. Authorities kept trying to hold him responsible for his tricks. In 2000, things took a serious turn for Carmichael. He got into major trouble for being a key player in a cheating scheme that spanned the country. The consequences were harsh. He had to spend 326 days in jail and also received 3 years of probation, which meant he had to behave well. The court also told him he couldn't approach any casino until his probation period ended. As he faced the consequences, the year 2000 became a significant part of his story, a time when he had to pay the price for living on the edge of legality. After making several big mistakes, Carmichael shared his knowledge about slot machine cheating techniques and became a consultant for security and anti-cheating measures in casinos. He used his experience to help casinos identify and prevent cheating activities. Carmichael decided to collaborate with the Nevada Gaming Commission to create a device that prevented cheating. In 2003, his most successful invention, known as the Protector, was created to block cheating tools. Nevada's Deputy Attorney General, Jennifer Carballo, commented on his anti-cheating inventions, saying, "He claims to have developed an anti-cheating device for slot machines. However, that device could easily become a cheating tool." As a result of his past, the Nevada Gaming Commission added Carmichael to the Nevada blacklist, banning him from entering any casino in the state. Carmichael responded to their decision by saying, "They can't stand the idea of me fixing a mistake and possibly making a bit of money from it." Carmichael claimed to have changed his ways and would no longer cheat at slot machines. He even said he could beat them in the blink of an eye if he wanted to, but this confidence came at a cost. The reformed inventor found himself permanently banned from Nevada casinos. It turned out that being too good at cheating in the past had its consequences. Despite his promises to be different, the casinos were not willing to take risks. Carmichael's skills, even reformed, still raised suspicion, and he ended up being banned from the places where he used to outsmart the machines. It was a reminder that even a man who supposedly had changed couldn't easily escape the shadow of his old tricks. Although Carmichael got into trouble, people still talk about him. His story makes us think about how far people would go to outsmart the system. Casinos have had to improve in stopping these tricks because of people like Carmichael. The story of Carmichael is a mix of criminal activity, imprisonment, and later redemption through cooperation with law enforcement. Over the years, Carmichael's name became a symbol of both cunning and the consequences of breaking the rules in the casino world. His story is not just about a man who beat slot machines but also a reminder of the ongoing battle between those who try to cheat the system and the casinos that try to keep their games fair. Even though Carmichael was no longer around, his impact continued to shake the casino world. Carmichael passed away on February 1, 2019, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He was 68 years old. It was a quiet moment, and Carmichael's adventurous life came to an end. At that moment in Tulsa, the story of Tommy Glenn Carmichael closed its chapter. This is the story of Tommy Glenn Carmichael, the guy who tried to cheat slot machines and got caught. He went from being a clever scammer in casinos to facing the consequences of his actions. His adventures made people think about how far someone might go to cheat the system. Carmichael had a rather turbulent life, starting with illegal activities involving slot machines, finding ways to cheat them, and getting more money. This got him into trouble and eventually landed him in jail, where he had to face the consequences of his actions. Despite getting into trouble, Carmichael's story remained alive. People continued to talk about his clever moves and the problems that followed. His story made us question the limits to which people would go to bend the rules. Casinos had to improve to stop cheating, learning from people like Carmichael. Surrounded by his friends and family, he passed away in Tulsa in 2019. His legacy continued to make us think about the balance between cheating the system and the fairness that casinos wanted to maintain. It was a story of challenges, victories, and ultimately a life well lived that left us with the whispers of a scammer's memory.